Okay, so now we need to fill in the 45-degree angles, right? In fact, this is 45. This is a multiple of 45. 0, 45, 90, 135, 180, right? We need to fill the ones in that we don't already know, meaning we already know the 0 and the 90 and all that. Right, and the way to figure this out is by using something that you learned before, which is a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle. Right? We learned in geometry first, but you should have done it in Algebra 2 also, that in a 45-degree, 45-degree, 90-degree triangle, all right, first, because the two acute angles are equal, then the opposite sides have to be equal. So whatever one is, the other one is. Okay. And the hypotenuse of the triangle is going to be whatever that side length is times the square root of 2. Now, when we put this 45, 45, 90-degree triangle on the unit circle, then the hypotenuse of our triangle is going to be the radius of the circle. But we know what the radius of the circle is. It's 1, right? So that will give us enough information that we can solve for the lengths of the other two sides. So if I set the n times the square root of 2 to 1, and then I solve for n, that means divide by the square root of 2, and then we do rationalize denominators here, multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, and then it's root 2 over 2. So that's what if this is 1, this must be the square root of 2 over 2. And this must be the square root of 2 over 2. So if you look at in the unit circle, that would be the 45, 45, 90-degree triangle is this right there, 45, 45. And we showed on the last slide, if the radius is 1, that means this length is the square root of 2 over 2, which that's the x-coordinate. That makes this length square root of 2 over 2. That's the y-coordinate. That's where those coordinates come from. Now, I could move my triangle to the other quadrants. Like if I go over into this quadrant, it's still a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle. But what's changed? Yeah, if you go to the left of the middle, then the x-coordinate is negative. It's still root 2 over 2 for both, but the x-coordinate has to be negative because it's to the left. Right? And you could do the same thing. I could put a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle in quadrant 3. Now they're both negative. Or I could put it down here in quadrant 4, and now the y-coordinate is negative because it's below the middle. Now, when it comes to the measures of the angles, right, again, we say that's 45 degrees. That's halfway between 0 and 90. And these are multiples of 45. 0, 45, 90, which we don't have to write because we already got it. 135, 180, 225, 270, 315, 360. Just keep adding multiples of 45 till you go all the way around the circle. It should be 360. In the same way, right, halfway between 0 and pi over 2 is pi over 4. So this is 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, 8 pi over 4, which is 2 pi. So you should fill in on your sheets, right? You should have the angle measure in degrees and radians and the coordinates that go next to it.